10:49 a.m. I just woke up. I'm moving along on page 7. I actually still have one panel to go, but it's a short panel, and I still have a thing I want to do on this panel. So at this point, I've drawn the retrievers, and you can see the whole group here. This is the group that Alkabetz was once part of, and also you see Flora here. Although we're not going to be real obvious about is Flora the same character from the beginning. It should be apparent. We hope it is. I hope it is. Alright, I'm going to use fountain pen for this. I can't remember if assisted drawing is on or not. It is. Okay. You might have noticed I have I have my Snap 2 rulers on. We're going to try and do a reflection effect. Because this is sort of just a memory effect, we're trying to imagine that, he's just telling a story, so we can create any environment we want, so we're going to create this sort of dark area with clouds and storms, and stepping out of it onto a reflective, smooth surface are these characters. And to do that reflective surface, we're just doing these vertical lines. They don't actually have to be vertical. They just have to be parallel. You could do them all go in one direction, but they're more powerful, in my opinion, if they're vertical. And I'm looking at it. I'm not sure I got it right. Let's see. So I take my drawing guide off. And then I think in certain places it looks okay, in certain places it doesn't look okay. So let's try this again. We're going to clear it. Am I still assisted? Let's clear it. We'll try it one more time. All right. All right, so let's try this. It's meant to look like a polished surface. And I think it's okay, this one. I think the secret was to not bold the lines so much, to use more tapered lines and thinner lines, which is what I did. And I still have tones to do, so first of all, let's finish this last one. I'm not sure I did a great job on Perseus here, so first of all, let's stick the drawings and stuff there. Put it on here. These owl characters. There's Persephone. Maybe I'll put the names down below them too. Um, really only work if you remember all the different elements. Which these sea things are important. Also noticed I couldn't do too much on this panel because I was running out of room. Had and I think I made his head a little bit too tall. So let's see what he looks like now. Is that right? That looks close. You can tell it's the same character, so that's good. When you're drawing a cartoon character, you still have to maintain the three dimensionality of it to give it the feel of volume, the volumetric look. Well, I mean you don't have to, but it helps the realism, or not realism. What am I looking for? Verisimilitude, the ability to immerse. Um, Even like the so-called, I'm going to say anime style, but the manga style characters are not drawn as realistic. They're drawn as cartoons. The faces are simplified, the bodies are often simplified, but they still maintain their three dimensionality. Even the very simplest ones. Even if you go back and you look at Astro Boy as an example, 1960s. This one, I'm almost wondering if the sleeve is important. It's kind of not. I could bring it about in right over there. Then we could do that. All right. So, I also got good chunks of black ink in here. This is a voiceover type panel, but we've got them like that. Okay. Speech bubble placement's important. I saw one dude who's doing this comic, and he had speech bubbles just up and down, and I kept reading them the wrong way because one would lead directly close to the next one, then there would be a bottom one, and you'd have to go back and puzzle it out. So you got to avoid that. It isn't meant to be up down up down up down. I mean, you're following the flow from point to visual point. Okay, let's see. Finn the Swift. Let's add text. Finn. We're going to put it in bold 16 or 15. And that way we have a ton of information for the viewer to refer back to if they need to. Oh, Persephone, come on now. If I put it right there. I think that looks okay. All right, let's just move on. I still have to do tones too. If we were to go back into our layers, back into Inky, I think this area right here is a vestige of when I was going to do action lines. All right. Oops. I want to bold this line over or double this line. Okay. Let's throw the balloons down. And once we get that, oops. Once we get that, oops. Come on, man. We can start on our tones. Same deal here. It's important to get all the balloons in. I think we got them all. This we might be missing those balloons. All right. Let's go plus up one. We're going to call this one tones. Yones. Y1s. All right. Black. And I think the way I want to do it, hang on. I'm starting to really like the shaders. I can go grainy or rough. What if I go for rough? Rough dot shader. Since these are small. Oops. Oops. We know that the light is going to be from the little explosion of him teleporting away. So we just shade the area away from the light. And with the shaders, you can, it's pressure sensitive, so you can throw in a little extra. All right, then we delete, or erase rather, anything that came outside the lines. There we go. Okay, for this barn door, I'm going to use the classic tone. Let's use the rough dot. This is not pressure sensitive. The reason I had to go over his face when I did it, though, is you want to do it in one swoop. Otherwise, the dots get out of alignment. And you can always erase. The second thing is his little, so Balin's little outfit here that he's wearing is also toned, so we want to darken that up, but not using the same tone as the thing directly behind him, because then it would just be confusing. Also, we overwrote some speech bubbles here, and normally we can't, like this, because the balloons is on top of that layer. It would normally not overwrite it, but these two speech balloons I left unfilled in, so they're basically transparent. Oh man, but I got this. All right, here we go. All right, so now once we have that, let us switch back to shaders. And you can see the shaders have a different tone, like they're darker. Well, the dots are closer together, so. Okay. If I'd have been smart, I would have put this on its own layer, because if it had strayed outside of the outer line, which I did in certain places, it would have been really hard to erase it. Luckily, it was not that hard. Okay. Same deal. Let's shade the we'll shade a little bit of Perseus here. But we're being careful about our pressure. Okay. All right, now same deal. I want to go with I can go with grainy here. All right, here's Finn. He's got like a coat on. And it isn't real obvious that the coat is like a trench coat kind of thing. He's like an archer. Yeah, I think that works. Flora is supposed to be wearing something kind of dark, like black, but I think I have this rough shader. So she's got. Let's put her in her own layer for a second. As a thief, it makes sense that she'd be in the darkest outfit. Okay. And then Alcabets. How did I do him? I think I put him in, it was obviously one of the shaders, and it's just most of his stuff except for except for the trim, I guess we'd call it. And I'm using kind of a medium pressure. If I can help it. Whoops. It's okay to have some cuts and slashes in here. All right. Sorry. Persephone, we're going to leave her in a light colored um, cloak just to contrast with the guy she's standing next to. But why would I do that? Let's see. Yeah, I think I still will use some for the shadow, though. And then Balin's wearing armor, but this part is cloth. All right, everything's looking good. Oh, I don't like that. All right. Like we can get to the point of a total, like of total black, if we need to. But as far as shading goes, that looks pretty okay to me. All right. And then for consistency, to make this panel contrast more but still be interesting, I mean, we could put in a background, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to put in a color. Um, let's do a 45-degree line. So you can kind of see what I mean about not getting them out of alignment. It would totally screw that look up. All right, hang on. Let's clean it up now. This line is meant to be reminiscent of duotone paper. Which has that same kind of, you would paint it with one chemical and it would reveal these diagonal lines. And then you could paint it with the other chemical and it would reveal like a different pattern. And the patterns looked pretty cool together, so you could even have a third tone with both. That's why it was called duotone. All right, here we go. And that's what gave the turtles their unique look. The guy that's really using this kind of effect really well right now is the guy doing Mighty Keen. The guy who's doing Steel Streets and Superhero Comics. Oh, I just realized this part is screwed up. And this part is screwed up. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Recent technical pen. It's encroaching into my speech bubble. There we go. Okay, we got a page. Page 7 is done. I don't have page 8 drawn. You can see I don't have page 8 drawn yet. But I'll give you a little sneak preview. Page 8, well, come on now. Alcabetz takes the mysterious package up to his study to open it, and I think he's already going to suspect a trap, and of course it is. But it's going to be much worse than everyone expects, and that's what gets us all kicked off. So anyways, please like, follow, and subscribe. Whoa. And there'll be more Book of Ruin every day, every single day. And actually, I might even start focusing a little bit more on Tarzan, because I know I'm a little bit behind. I've got the page ready to roll on that. So we might be doing some Tarzan today, later on, to get this one done. All right. Talk to you later.